Welcome everyone into the sanctuary, as well those people online. We love you too. We're very glad you're here. We are going to start the way we always like to start in anything that gets together, and then we'll go to the announcements. We are going to start with an opening prayer, an invocation. And so as I breathe, I simply like to slow my breath down. I discover it slows my mind down, which is so important when I want to pay attention to all the divine things that unfold in this service. So I allow myself to simply breathe. And the one thing I know for sure is that this power, this presence, spirit, the divine, that is moving through me in such beautiful creative order is absolutely flowing through every bit of creation, everyone in this room, and every flower, bird, tree, as spring is bursting forth and reminding us of the creative urge of life. We all have this urge to move forward and create and always be more than we are. And so as we come into this service, we know that we have so many words and encouragements and ideas and creative ways that we can unfold as Reverend Valerie Reeves leads this service in such grace. And so in gratitude for all that is to come and all that just is right now, I allow this to be as I release this word, knowing that it's absolutely settled and done in the mind of God, as I say and invite, and so it is. So I'm going to begin with a few announcements. I even cut the page off. See, they're not all that long, so that's cool. This coming Sunday is a really important Sunday. It is the annual business meeting. It is really, it's an event I've always looked forward to. I will be away, so I'm feeling it's even more important simply because it is something I have never missed before. I invite all of you to be at this wonderful meeting. It's after our service on Sunday. Tomorrow, Thursday, Elaine Yuzuki is leading the Spanish language study group, and they are using this thing called You by Ernest Holmes, and it has been translated into Spanish, and she's eager to find those Spanish-speaking students who would like to share this book study. If that is you or you know someone, just share that. So it is tomorrow, it is at 1 p.m., and it's for an hour. Our monthly ecstatic dance is also tomorrow. It's tomorrow night, April the 10th, at 6 p.m. with Ryan Iguchi and, of course, Reverend Gregory, who absolutely loves ecstatic dance. If you've not been, I hear that it's a wonderful experience. I have not been yet as well. And tomorrow I'll be somewhere else. Our fourth and final session of the South Bay Soul Seeker series, see, I can say that, is this Saturday, April the 12th at 10 a.m. Adults will have a somatic stress relief, chakra dance, wait a minute, get my line straight, stress relief, meditation, sound, and a Reiki workshop. Adults will learn EFT tapping and take a chakra dance kids class. Doesn't that sound exciting? They have put together a whole series of different classes for our investigation if we've never done any of those things. All adults welcome you. And we keep saying you don't have to have a child and you don't have to bring a child with you in order to participate in the adults portion. And come and see this. These are people who work in the South Bay. So you could just come and explore and see what's going on. I have been, and it really is an exciting adventure. All of it was new to me, so I appreciated it very much. Our ongoing tradition is to decorate our sanctuary for Easter, and we do it with Easter lilies, and it's only 2 Sundays away on the 20th of April. So you can donate a lily in honor or in memory of someone special, and fill out the form at the counter, and you can do that. After the service, the Easter service, You may take a lily home with you as well. So just check at the front desk to get more information. I think there's something on the activity table as well. We warmly invite you to our Easter Sunday service. It is April the 20th at 11 a.m. And bring your family, bring your kids. We're going to have an egg hunt too, and so that's always great, great fun. So this is the one that if you have a child, be sure and bring them to. And if you were here last Sunday, you see how our youth church is already growing. They were spread all over the place here. So we may have even more on Easter Sunday. So I'm excited about that. I think that's wonderful the way that it is growing. Now, next Wednesday, moving out of this part of it, is that we have on April the 23rd, it's a Wednesday now, having the vegan potluck. Again, this is a big favorite for Reverend Gregory. And many of us are not vegans at all, but who have enjoyed these potlucks tremendously and just eat and eat and eat and are surprised they like vegan food as much as they do. So that's an adventure if you have not been. On May the 4th, into the next month, we welcome Tim Ringgold for a workshop called Soul Care in Troubling Times. It's a musical grief workshop, and it's using music to relieve grief and the stress that comes with it. There's a flyer on the activity table. I know this is something that it may be valuable for many people, so share this with others if you are not necessarily in that situation for yourself. For a full list of all of our activities, it's in our weekly newsletter. It comes out on Thursday evenings, so if you're not getting and would like to, you just let Doris know, and you will be on the list. And Spirit Speaks magazine also has a good list of what's going on, as well as the activity table. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. And finally, we want to mention our bookstore. We have really many new titles that have been picked and a lot of cool things and great leadership that's going on in our bookstore. So we're celebrating all of that, and just check out what they have. We would love to have you pick and choose. And finally, we like to close with gratitude. We're incredibly grateful for all of our volunteers. I see volunteers before me, and I just know how wonderful it is to give of your time. And it's also lovely to be grateful to those who do. So I invite you to say thank you to someone that you know who volunteers. And I appreciate the applause, but sometimes we can just say to someone else, I appreciate those things you do. You just can't imagine how much that's going to warm someone who's doing that. So without my yakking anymore, I'm going to welcome Reverend Valerie Reeves. And you don't need my microphone, so I'll take it.
Thank you. And thank you, Catherine, because I know you do a lot of volunteering too. So I'm knowing all is well, and it is the best day ever, yes? So I have to tell you, I just got back from New York, and I took a few pictures up there. Yeah, so it was fabulous. I went by myself, and that way I could do whatever I wanted, go where I wanted, eat wherever I wanted, just kind of go at my own pace, and it was fantastic and fabulous. And it's great to be back. So something wonderful is happening. Yeah, I went everywhere, so it was great. I had been wanting to get back to New York for a very long time. I went there in the 90s, and I was working, and so they wouldn't let me go up to the top of the Empire State Building because it was too cloudy. I'm like, but I just want to go up there. And he's like, no, you won't see anything, so we're not going to let you go up. I'm like, So I've been wanting to get back there, and I had scheduled trips several different times, but it just didn't work out. And so I thought, I don't care what's going on, I'm going. It was like the best trip ever. The weather was perfect. Everyone I interacted with, it was absolutely perfect. So I am knowing that for all of us, that wherever we go, that something wonderful is unfolding. And I really like to think of, because this month we're getting into gardening. How many of you garden? Some of you do. Okay, great. Yay, you. I am really not a gardener. Even though my dad was a farmer, and I would watch him do these wonderful gardens and help whenever, he wanted some help. I made my kids for many years in a row. We would go and help because he would do the old-fashioned bales of hay. So you have to take them and stack them on the trucks. And so when it's 112 degrees in Nebraska, I'd have my kids out there helping as we're helping load the hay bales. But it gave them a really, really great work ethic. So I have 4 amazing children, and 3 boys, 1 girl, and I think my daughter only ran over one person's foot when we were baling hay, but it's all good. It all worked out. So when I was actually pregnant with my daughter, I had my 2 first boys, and then I was pregnant with my daughter, and I thought, I should plant a garden. What a great idea. So I planted these seeds, and I'm watering things, and stuff started to come up. And then more stuff started to come up, and I didn't know what was weeds and what was plant. And it kept growing, and so I ended up just mowing over all of it, because it was like, I don't know. I'm not going to go get a book and read about that. That doesn't interest me. And so loving ourselves regardless of how things are turning out. On the way down here from Apple Valley today, I was listening to Anita Moorjani's book, Dying to Be Me. Such a great book. I was listening to it on Audible. As soon as I got here, I'm like, do you have the book? And Doris said yes, and so I bought one out of the bookstore. Such a great book, and I know she's going to do a workshop here sometime soon. It's happening. We love this. But it gave me such a reflection of, at the core of who we all are, there's nothing but love. It's all love, and that life is eternal. And she coined the phrase, and I know she wrote this book before the movie won like an Oscar, Everything Everywhere All at Once. She kept saying that throughout the book, and I thought, they took her title. So much good stuff. And just thinking about that, especially as we think about the soil, and I like to think of myself rooted deeply in Mother Earth, and that all the nutrients and everything I need is right there. As long as I'm taking time to really acknowledge that with gratitude, with love, with peace, with harmony. So I have some quotes, and my first quote by Ernest Holmes. Like the creative soil in which seeds are planted and from which plant grows, the soul of the universe is the creative medium into which the word of spirit falls and from which creation arises. So when I think about this, of course, we have our science of mind symbol. We have seed, soil, plant. Sometimes I think we should maybe flip it upside down because then we know the plant is what's growing. But we have our busy monkey mind chatter. Oh, it's thinking all day long. It's judging. It's criticizing ourselves and others. Sometimes it may be saying we're not enough. Life isn't good. Or, oh, this stuff is bad out here, where if we just took it all in, that everything is love, and it's just an expression, and I know that Mother Earth is healthy. I know that each and every one of us is healthy. And as I think of our roots going deep from the bottom of our feet into the soil, sending love out to everyone, it's like, okay, we're going to get them from the base. Send the love out to everyone, knowing that something wonderful is unfolding. And could you imagine if everyone was at that space of love and peace and harmony with themselves, that they wouldn't have to go into anger, frustration, or judgment with anyone else? Now, I might have judged a time or two. Anybody else? Judge something out there and thought, oh, how can I get off of that? Because sometimes our ego part of ourselves wants to be right. I want to prove them wrong, and I want to be right, and I want them to know. And yet, if I put that down and say, you know what, everyone is on their own path, everyone is doing what they do, and the best thing I can do is just love them to the next level while I'm loving myself to the next level. And not to do a whole spiritual bypass on everything that's out there. We have to really discern what is right and perfect for us without judgment. It's like, okay, this conversation feels great. Maybe a conversation over here with someone else doesn't feel so great. And so I may say, need to stop you right there. Sounds like there's something that wants to bubble up. I want to see the good in you. Tell me something good. Some people will be, there's nothing good. I remember I was working with a friend of mine, and she's like, I just hate my job. I hate everything about it. And I said, well, tell me something good. And she's like, well, that's easy. There's nothing good about my job. And I said, do you work indoors or outdoors? And she's like, well, I work indoors. You know that. And I said, do you like that, or would you rather work outdoors? Well, I like working indoors. Okay, there's one thing. What about parking? Do they give you a parking space? And she's like, yes, there's parking. I don't have to like tram in or anything or bus in. You like that, right? Oh, and do they give you a paycheck? And she's like, yes. I'm like, oh, I love that part, right? Don't you? She's like, yeah, I like that. And it's like, do you get paid days off? And she's like, yeah, I do. Fine. I guess I like a lot of things about my job. Because sometimes we get into a mantra and maybe a habit of just thinking, oh, there's nothing good there. There's nothing good there. But if we dig a little deeper, there is something good there. And when you ask somebody, tell me something good about it, no, that's easy. There's nothing good about it. And it's like, okay, let's dig a little deeper. I have to do that with myself sometimes too. It's like, okay, there's nothing good happening right there. It's like, but there is. And I can't see the whole picture right now, but I know from experiences in my life that anything that looked bad at the time, there was something good that came out of it. I know Steve Jobs said you can't connect the dots going forward. You can only connect them going backwards, looking back. And it's like, okay, if that hadn't happened, then this wouldn't have happened. And then this wouldn't have happened. And then that wouldn't have happened. So knowing that we are always on our right and perfect path, my kids and I, we used to, they're just so brilliant. I just love that I have such brilliant kids and so open. And I feel like when they were all born, all four of them, I had 4 kids in 3 3/4 years, and it was fast and furious. And I was married to a Catholic, and that's what you do, you know, you got to procreate. And so when they were little, I felt like I would just ask them questions and let them tell me, because I know that they know more than I do. I always felt like that. It's like, tell me, what do you think we should do here? I don't know, Mom, make dinner? It's like, okay, that's what we'll do. But they have so much brilliance within them. And when we see the brilliance out there, then we know the brilliance is flowing in as and through each and every one of us. When I see things that are not so brilliant out there, then I have to question. It's like, okay, how can I find the brilliance there? And maybe this is happening to get to the other side. I know that the synchronicity of life, that I like to think that my children chose me as their parent, and so I remind them, you chose me, this is what happens, and it's perfect. And so having these wonderful children just doing beautiful things in the world, I get to continue to learn, and yet allow them to do whatever they do, even if they have a different belief system than I do, even if they're moving to a different state or a different country or doing something different. So when I was in New York, my youngest son was in Japan, and my daughter was in Idaho visiting her dad. And so it's like, I love that we have the opportunity in this country to travel, to see the best in everything that's going on, and to see the best in us, and to look at the mirrors out there that we have of our children, our friends, our family, and that we have a responsibility to our own selves to help guide and direct those conversations. Because if a conversation is going down a road that's not working for me. I remember a friend that used to tell me the same story over and over and over again. It's like, need to stop you there. Sounds like a story I heard last week, and maybe the week before, and maybe the week before. And maybe that's why you're creating the reality that you're creating. We are not victims of circumstance. We get to have choice. We get to choose our thoughts. And when I think about choosing our thoughts, I can't but going to Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, where he was in a Nazi concentration camp. And they took everything. They took his family. They took his home. They took his clothes. And the last thing he had was his wedding band. And when they noticed it one day, they took it. And it's almost like that surrender, or like our 5th step in treatment, I release and I let go. You can have all of that, but you can't have my thoughts. I get to think whatever I want. I get to choose. And I'm knowing that every day is getting better. Having visions of something even better and more. because collectively, the collective consciousness, we're all in that. And so every thought matters. Every emotion matters. And so being true to ourselves, feeling what we feel, and making sure that we don't stay stuck in something that isn't great and serving us. Because when we get stuck in it, then we just keep creating the same thing over and over and over and over again. I remember when my daughter was in high school and she had hit the car next to her. She had worked all summer to make money so that she could go do this big traveling thing. And last day of work, she hits the car next to her, and it was about $1,300 worth of damage. We have a $1,500 deductible on her car. So she's like, "Oh, what's going to happen now?" And I said, "Well, this will be your responsibility." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so mad." I said, "You have 5 minutes to just get it out." She just threw herself down on the floor and just started screaming and crying. And she was 16 then. So I thought, well, it's such a good visual, because sometimes something in life is maybe not going quite right, and we bump up against something, and we just want to throw that temper tantrum. And that's okay, as long as we don't stay stuck there. Because if we stay stuck there, then we don't get to move forward. Now, there was some beauty that came out of that, because the person that she had bumped into their car, they said, we were going to trade this in anyway and just probably give it to my son, so they didn't charge her. So once she released the anger and got through it and said, okay, we're going to make this work, it's all going to be fine. Once we got to that space, everything worked out so beautifully and synchronistically. And, once in a while, we may keep running into different little hoops. And we get to just say, okay, there's something else for me to learn. I keep thinking of a tool belt. And it's like, okay, evidently I need another tool for my belt, because I'm going through this experience. So let me grab the tool, let me learn as quickly as I can, and let me move past it. Because as I say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I do not have to build a condo there. So if I'm in that space, right, I just got to keep moving through it and say, it's okay, all is well, life is good, and there's something to learn here. But the minute we get stuck in the, oh, I'm so sad, and I'm so angry, and I'm so frustrated, and I'm just going to hold on to that emotion, it's like, let me let that emotion go. I don't want to have any disharmony or dis-ease in my body, so let me keep moving through it. I have another quote. There we go. The human race is challenged more than ever before to demonstrate our mastery, not over nature, but of ourselves. Our whole tagline here is change your thinking, change your life, or at least elevate your thinking to elevate your life, because sometimes change, because we all love change, don't we? Woo, yay, new software system. I haven't upgraded my phone because I know I have a learning curve and I'll have to change how I'm doing things, right? So we resist some stuff sometimes. So it's like, okay, let me at least elevate my thought, because maybe my thought's been here, let me elevate it to the next level, and then to the next level, and then to the next level, so that I can love myself to the next level and embrace that change, center heart around new growth experiences. And we love those new growth experiences, right? And it's easy when we look at the people that we're around, we may be having some of the same conversations that we had yesterday and the day before and the day before, and even with ourselves. I'm still having some conversations about, right? So it's like, okay, let me stop that. Let me interrupt that pattern. And there's so many different ways to do it. Throw on some music. Find a mantra that you can go to. If I put in Dancing Queen by ABBA, I'm right there. Let's just dance it out. And I will tell you that I did dance in Times Square in New York. There was a gentleman who had this little gadget that just went around. I said, what do you do with that thing? Because it was like this big sphere thing. And it just had this thing that just kept going around. He's like, I take your cell phone, I put it there, and put on some music, and then you dance, and it gets you from every angle, as well as Times Square. I'm like, let's do it. Nobody knows me here. It's okay. So I danced in Times Square, and he kept going, and I'm like, okay, we're good. And he's like, keep going. I'm like, okay, dance some more. And I'm like, okay, we're good. And he's like, no, keep going. So it went on for about 3 minutes. And I'm like, okay. Sometimes just a different perspective, getting out of ourselves, having fun, and being in that playful spirit. I do have another quote because I'm thinking about this right now. The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. And the other way to be happy is to make others so. You know, sometimes we get so caught up in our own stuff that we forget to go have a conversation with someone else or to touch somebody else's life. You know, give somebody a call and say, thank you. I'm just so glad you're part of my life. Do you ever get a call like that? Okay, let's pretend I'm calling you. It's like, I'm so grateful. You're part of my life. If you got a call like that, right, then we feel so good. I like to hang around people that give you the warm fuzzies. And the way to do that is to give warm fuzzies out to other people. Notice the good things in them. Phone a friend, phone a relative, phone your ex, phone somebody, and tell them how great they are and what an impact they made on your life. And then do those wonderful nurturing things for you. Because as we plant the seeds in the soil of the things that we want, in the fertile soil of our subconscious mind, I feel like I can't talk about it enough because I keep needing to remind myself it's another tool for my tool belt, but every thought is a seed. There are some thought seeds I do not want to be planting. But it's just like the weeds. When I planted that garden, it's like, what's the weeds and what is the plant? And am I planting seeds that are going to create more weeds in my life with my thoughts? Because our thoughts, conscious monkey mind chatter, nature of the mind is to think. So we're always thinking, judging, analyzing, possibly criticizing. It's the thing that the conscious mind does. But the subconscious mind just accepts. It's just like the soil. It doesn't go, poof, I don't like that seed. It doesn't kick it up out of the soil. It just takes it in. Every thought, every judgment, and because the universe and the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between you and me, it just says, yes, that's true for you. Oh, that person's crazy. Yes, that's true for you. So I want to be very mindful on the judgments that I'm making. And I may discern that there are certain personalities that, you know, they're this way, I'm that way, and that's okay. That's what makes the world go round. And yet let me plant firmly in the fertile soil of my subconscious mind that all is well. Everyone is just doing the best that they can with the knowledge that they have and the love that they have for themselves. And so if they can't love themselves, let me have a little love. It's like the little kid's song that goes, I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. Because if I don't have love to give, then it's not going to go anywhere. So it's got to start with me. But if I don't have it for myself, then it's hard to give it to anyone else. And if they don't love themselves, and so that's what I know about anybody who's acting out in life, is perhaps they don't love themselves. Let me just send them some love. And as I'm doing that, let me send myself some love and let me nurture that fertile soil of my subconscious mind, knowing that I'm connected to Mother Earth. I know I have one more quote by Jean Houston, I do believe. Just as you would not neglect seeds that are planted with hope that they will bear vegetables and fruits and flowers, so you must attend and nourish the garden of your own becoming. I don't just plant a seed and just bye. Good luck. Any seeds I'm planting for things that I am choosing and wanting in my world, in my life, in my body, I'm going to give that some love and nurturing. And I'm going to know that it is growing because I'm giving it love. Water. My son in Texas sent me a 64 Yeti, 64-ounce Yeti. It's a huge, I mean, that's a big. And he just put, drink more water, mother. And he had that all in capitalized. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to tote that big jug around with me everywhere. So drink more water, nourish your body, listen to it. Honor that intuition that is guiding and directing so clearly if we just get the other thoughts out of our way. That's why we meditate. That's why we affirm. So we keep planting those good seeds and giving them love. So my charge to each of you, as we're planting those seeds and our mind chatter goes different places, find the good in everything. And if you can't find it right away, dig a little deeper. And so ends the lesson. All right. Thank you. Yeah, they start flashing the light back there, and I'm like, okay. Now we have that time where we have the opportunity to give, knowing that as we give, we absolutely do receive, that we are telling our inner knower that I know that abundance just keeps flowing for me. In the reciprocity of life, as I give, I always receive. So we have our beautiful Ruth, who is going to do the offering. Many ways to give. You can donate online. You can scan and give the barcode there, or you can toss in the basket. So let's say our giving affirmation all together. I don't have it memorized. So, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. All those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. This is like planting those seeds of abundance, knowing that as I plant those seeds, I'm trusting the universe that something more is growing. So we get to have this wonderful place to come together to remind ourselves of who we are. That's why we come here. Remember who you are. Divine, beautiful, amazing, and lovable, always. Yeah. So knowing that life is good, and we have Vincent. I don't know if I've said it before, but my youngest son's name is Andrew Vincent Murphy Rouse, because he took on his wife's last name with his last name. So Andrew Vincent Murphy Rouse. And so I love the name Vincent. So Vincent is going to come around with the microphone. If anybody has a question or a prayer request, just raise your hand and he will give you the microphone. We have one over here. Yep. Right there.
I'll be brave.
You're good.
Well, I needed to hear exactly what you're saying today, which is why I got here, even if I was a little late.
All good.
I'm struggling with a situation that I wanted to volunteer, and I guess I've been rejected. First they said I could volunteer with this cat rescue, and now they're like, oh, you can be a floater. And I was really angry yesterday. I went through the whole process, I went through training, and I didn't understand the reasoning after I was told they needed the help. So will you help me pray to just accept it and to maybe realize it's a blessing in disguise for some reason?
Yes.
And to let go of the anger.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, I am knowing it is a blessing in disguise because something else is making space. And so I am knowing that that is happening. So I'm going to do a quick treatment on this because I see it very clearly. What is your name? Lynn. Okay. So let's take a moment and go inside our heart of hearts for just a moment. As we breathe in the fullness of life, and this is for all of us, knowing that there is one mind, one power, one infinite intelligence. It flows through every cell in our bodies. With every breath in, we breathe in love. With every exhale, we let go of any thoughts that do not serve us. Knowing in this oneness, in this cosmic soup, that I speak my word for Lynn and for all of us, that we are always in the right place at the right time, that something bigger and more wonderful is happening, that we are never rejected. We are only honored by the universe, knowing that something wonderful is guiding and directing, that everything is always working out for us. It's a beautiful mantra. Things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me, even in the appearance of things that maybe aren't how I want them to be. Things are just always working out for me. That there's something bigger and better that wants to swoop in, that we just say yes, yes, yes to the goodness. And we just take that in gratitude. I am so grateful for the divine synchronicity of everything happening in my life, the beautiful flow, as I just allow the goodness. as I release my word into the universal action of the law, knowing all is well. And so it is. Yeah. Yeah, and when we pick up things like, maybe an anger thought, and it's like, oh, I want to tell them this or I want to tell them that, the thing that I do is I do the writing and ripping. If I write it down, it's like, I'm so mad, blah, 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 whatever I need to say. I could put some angry letters and words and things on there because I want to rip it up. I want to let it go, because that toxicity would not feed me and it wouldn't feed the universe. So it's like, let me write and rip. And because we have layers, I do, I may have to do it a time or 2 or 10. Every time I pick that thought up, let me put it back down. Let me write and rip, let me get it out of me. And let me know that there's something even more magical and wonderful. And then go to the mirror and look in your beautiful eyes in the mirror. Just say, I know that I am worthy and that there's something more that wants to come through. And I just open to that. And then just get that space of peace. And then feel those roots going down and touching everybody else and sending love. It's like there's just love, love, love everywhere I go. And the red carpet of life is rolling out for every step. Yeah. Knowing that you are worthy, you are loved. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Hi.
Good morning.
Good
I have
morning.
a group of young people that I work with. I sent them a copy of Ernest Holmes' 100 Affirmations. Universe always says yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
And these are close friends. There's about a dozen of them. And they're all families, young families with 2 to 3 children that are asking questions about life every second of the day. So I'm in that circle with them as a relative on some and a friend on others. And this is one of the best journals that I've given to them, because I say, just go to page X, try this. Go to page Y, try that. And then they all got 365 Ernest Holmes, and they go, I read it every morning. And they found a center in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's a up-and-coming Science of Mind location. I'm going to be back there in 2 weeks. I'm going to go Sunday, but they have a lot of stuff going on the internet. So that's how this young group, and they're all in their 20s, so that they're getting connected and they're breaking out of a mold that, has been handed down, where they go, but I believe in this. So anyway, just wanted to share.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. And I love that you do that. And that book, the Universe Always Says Yes, that is in our welcome bags here, right? So if you don't have one, grab a welcome bag when you go outside. Yes. Absolutely. Because it's such a great book. That was by Frank Richelieu, right? Yep. And so the universe does always say yes, and even in the appearance of maybe somebody saying no, it's like, but the universe is saying yes to me. So the universe is saying, there's something even more for me, and I just say yes to it, that all is well. Yeah. Thank you. And another way to get out of ourselves, because I feel like this is the thing that just opens up the stream for me, is when I sit down and send thank you notes and thank you cards out to family, friends, and people. Yeah. And that's one of the things you're doing, spreading good word out there. Yes. Anyone else? Okay, great.
Hello, my name is Marcella, and this is my first time here, and to the service. And thank you so very much for reminding us that there only is love, just like the Book of Miracles. And there's so much information on the internet, and affirmations, and most of my life, I did things out of fear, and now I choose to do things out of love. And I found peace, and it doesn't matter what I'm going through. And whatever comes my way, I look at it and think, just like you said, what can I learn today from this? How can I be a better person? And yes, I just picked up the book, The Universe Always Says Yes. So therefore, how can I ask? Because if I say something like, I don't want that, the universe doesn't understand that, and that's what I'm going to get. Mm-hmm. So really, it's all about me. It's my reality, my life, and I try to bring joy to it, and first gratitude, joy, and do everything out of love, even if it's difficult. And
I
thank
love
you.
that. Thank
And
you. Welcome, Marcella. So great to have you here. That's awesome. Great. Yes.
My wife told me don't say anything.
I love it.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
After I do my writing every morning, okay, because I give thanks to God to wake me up, to give me this beautiful day, and then I turn and read the universe says yes, yes, yes. That's every morning, okay? Then I read the daily laws, okay, to get the day. And then I get into Ernest Holmes, the Essential Ernest Holmes. Oh, this thing called you. And then I trip every morning, which what I mean is I have these oculars that I put on my eyes, and it just takes me into the universe and oh man, it's just fantastic. I'm loving, and then again, I'm loving that she found Redondo Beach Center of Spiritual Living. Okay, this is one lovely place. We have made it our Wednesdays and our Sundays. After this, we're going to the beach, ride a little e-bikes. Oh, well, I'm just loving my life because I am on the red carpet. Okay, I understand everything that you spoke of this morning because I've even read it already, okay? And I know where it all starts, right here. Okay?
Yes. Yes. I love that. Thank you. Thank you. I love that. Yay, good job. Good job. Well, and I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And I do want to, Marcella, what you had said about, sometimes you're not asking the right questions. There's a little book called Change Your Question, Change Your Life, which kind of goes along with our theme. But sometimes maybe we're not asking the right question. What am I to learn here? Or what direction do I go next? What's next? What door is opening? And remembering that red carpet of life. Because if I think that every door I walk through, the red carpet is already rolled out for me, I'm just going to feel good inside myself. And isn't that the most important thing? I feel good inside myself so I can send those ripples of love and waves of goodness out there, regardless of any appearances. Terry Cole Whitaker wrote her book, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. She wrote that as she was speaking, and there was somebody scowling at her in the audience. And she had to talk herself down from the ledge, because we still have brain time, even though we're speaking, we still have brain time to think about stuff. And it's like, oh, that person's smiling a lot. Or that person, oh, they're just judging me. And so she came up with the book title, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. And I love the book so much. The title really says it all. Because if we put our power into somebody else's thoughts of us, then we could just talk ourselves down into a mud hole. Or we can say, you know what? That is about you. Your thoughts, your judgment, it's about you. It's not about me. So when somebody judges you, it's like, yes, that's true for you. But that is not my experience. And so if somebody wants to judge or say something critical that doesn't sound positive, it's like, okay, thank you for sharing. Bye. Or next. So, anyone else? Quick question. Okay, we have a couple down here. Hello, Anne. Oh, for David. Okay.
Thank you, Reverend Valerie.
Yes, David.
I was in the Caribbean last week, and we didn't take an excursion. We decided to go where all the cab drivers were and everything, and we had about several people yelling at us to where to go. We regrouped, we left and came back, and we got this cab driver, and they told us the name of our bus was God is Good.
I love that.
So we had a wonderful time, and it was
Of course
really
you
good.
did.
Yeah.
Good stuff happening. Excellent. Did you have a question too, Anne?
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of things. I have a little prayer request, but I want to say something else first. I love that you were talking about the process of plants, the seed idea and the creative media and the plant. And I just wanted to share with you that I work with a group of kids at Founders who are like age 9 to 13. And we planted radish seeds in December. And we did it inside in a planter box. And we prayed over them. And the plants came up. And the plants just kept coming up. And they're supposed to become radishes like in 21 days. Well, it's been a few months. And what I love about it, I love it so much because the kids were so excited about it, they never diminished in their enthusiasm. We just went, okay, we know we had the seed. We know that we prayed over it. We know that something in the creative medium was not being properly nourished. So what could that be? Because our intentions were loving, but what could that be? Well, first of all, the water stagnated and we had flies because there wasn't adequate drainage. So then we redid it and we put rocks in the bottom and we had better drainage and fewer flies and all of that. So we thought, okay, also, so there was too much water. There was also not enough sun. This was December, mind you. So we decided, all right, now it's springtime. Perhaps we would be obeying the nature laws better if we planted these seeds outside in the proper season. And so they just went on undaunted, excited about the idea that this will work. They didn't do anything wrong. It's just like, I love that symbolism of the seed, the creative medium, and the plant, because it's the way I teach science of mind, really, because it just makes so much sense to people. They go, oh, the seed idea, and all of that. And we nourish that creative medium by our thoughts. And that's the place that our desires go if it's well nourished. If it's not too much water and not enough sun and all that kind of stuff. So thank you for that. I just really loved you bringing that out. My prayer request is for my very good friend Beverly, and a good friend of many people, who I would like for you to pray for her returned energy, for her stamina, so that she has energy, not just sitting down, but even when she's standing up. This would be so wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. She has another question, and then I'll do a prayer treatment for all of us. Anybody else had a... I love that story, Anne, because it's so great. Sometimes Shaka Gawain in Creative Visualization talks about how the universe brings us everything that we're wanting as quickly and easily as it can based on all the stuff it has to go through within us. Maybe we have some blocks, some barriers, some unworthiness. So it's like, okay, what else do we need to do to shift for this seed to grow? And tuning into that inner know, it'll always tell us. All right, so let's take all of this energy and go inside our heart of hearts as we just breathe in the fullness of life. Just letting go of any thoughts that do not serve us. Knowing on the great GPS of life, it just says, where are you and where are you going? We don't need to bring any baggage with us. That right here, right now, in this one divine cosmic energy of the universe, knowing that the same energy that flows the oceans and aligns the planets and grows everything on Mother Earth is flowing right where we are, that we are just deeply rooted in that. As we just sink our roots deep into Mother Earth and just allow that wonderful energy to flow and nurture every single cell in our bodies. That we just say yes, yes, yes to the energy, yes to the goodness, knowing for Beverly and for each and every one of us that we are energized and renewed in this moment. That the sunlight is calling us and shining upon us and energizing every muscle, every nerve, every fiber. That we just stand firmly in that. Letting go of any blocks in our flow as we just say yes, yes, yes to the goodness, yes to the universe, and going in gratitude, knowing it is already done in the mind of spirit. That we go to that gratitude space and allow, as we just release this into the universal action of the law, knowing all is well. And so it is. All right, now get out there and have the best day ever, full of energy, full of love, with the red carpet of life and the sunshine guiding your way. And so it is. Yes.